This is the third day in a row that monster's gone by. Oh, that's a big train. Holy smokes. Oh. Nice. Another beautiful morning out here at the river house. You can hear the birds. Trying to get the birds to have sex with them, and the wind is blowing and the skies are clear, at least for today. The plan is to get a whole bunch done. I would like to work on the scribing of the plywood. I think that's something that Shay and Danny can help me with, rather than so much of it I have to do on my own. And I need to fill in the sump hole. You'll understand that in a bit. And then take some measurements, because I don't know, I'm an idiot and I think we're changing house design. Nothing like the last minute. So that's what we're up to. Oh, and I built a rebar bender. Shay helped me paint it very enthusiastically. What do they call these? Clover bender? Anyways, you put the rebar through here and you can just bend it. And it's in true river house style. It's made of garbage, salvaged from scrap. And here's hoping it works pretty slick, because while it's optimistic to think that I could start putting in rebar today, very optimistic, I want to nurture that optimism. So let's get on it. This is the sump I was talking about. Lord knows it didn't need to be this big, but I had the excavator up here and that's what I dug it with. And I have been backfilling it with crushed rock, although it certainly doesn't actually need that. So I'm going to start backfilling it with large rubble to bring it up, and then we'll put crushed rock and then crusher dust over the top of it. But this is the lowest spot, so it is the natural drain point for almost all of the house. Drains right down to here. And so I'm gonna have we're gonna bring all the water off the back of the house, and so that is gotta be piped away. So we're gonna have a 4-inch drain tile line that comes through here. It's gonna Y up there, come through and down, and then up there it'll come through and across, and we'll drain everything out to right here, and it'll be a 4-inch line out into here, and then that'll go off right over there and just spill out. So that's where we're gonna dump all the water out of here. The sump itself is merely for, leaks and weeping and burst, whatever, water heater, just to make sure the underside of the house can never flood. There's going to be a concrete pad right in here, and it'll be sort of the utility room. This ceiling, I think, is going to be about 5.5, 6 feet down in here. So it's not tall enough for a room, but it's perfect for a mechanical room. So this will be the water filter, power box, water softener if we end up having to use one. All that'll be right down in here, and the furnace. And so obviously now I got a spot for it all to drain. Again, it's a lot bigger than it needed, but there were original ideas of just using it to drain all of the rainwater, but it's just not big enough. And because you can't build on top of fill, right? What I've got is this as a pillar, and so that'll be packed up in there, and when we pour concrete, we'll fill that, and it'll have rebar cage inside, pinned into the rock down below. So life should be hunky-dory right there. And then it's worth remembering there'll be about almost 4 feet of steel reinforced cement wall over the top of me. This entire chunk could simply wash away, leaving the house hanging 7-8 feet in the air, and the floors wouldn't even creak. This thing's gonna be so stuck to the mountain. ignorance is bliss. So yeah, now I need to move an awful lot more rock than I probably should have, and at least bring this up close, and then I'll make some more crushed rock, and we'll fill the last little bit. Put crush out in here. Fun. Good times. Well, day 2, and another beautiful morning out here at the river house, though we were supposed to get some rain maybe later. In a particularly good mood, because Shay and I took the farm Honda home last night. Don't tell Johnny Law I did that. But that meant a morning bike ride, and that always perks a feller up. Although it's chilly out here, enough to turn your willy inside out. But we almost got the sump backfilled. I think one more load of rock will definitely do it, and I'll refill this area in over here, and then if I have time I'll put some more gravel in over there, but I bet I don't bother. Maybe I will. You could use a little gravel right there. But I'll get this filled in, and then I have my ground paper, and I'll lay my ground paper out, and then I'll put crusher fines over the top of it and grate it. And then, because I know I've knocked these forms around a little bit, then we'll re-level everything, and then that should be good to go there. Once that's done, I figure I should spend a day and just catch up. I need to lay the rest of my drain tile in, so I'll have to put a piece out and Y and go in over there. Danny and I did some very careful measurements last night, and we found out that this valley right here, at best, I got to take about 2 inches out of it. We'll do that with the rock saw and the jackhammer, and then I can bring all the water from right there down and in, and then I'm gonna do Danny's change, which means if I do Danny's change, that means that most of the water up there can now come through this valley and down. It's going to leave me only this little piece right here, where the water on that is going to collect, and you know, I'm not sure I'm going to have to do anything about that. I will have rediverted the water that would have normally flowed underneath the house. I mean, there's nothing I can do about the stuff flowing between the rock layers, but it's already doing that anyway, so I don't think that'll be a problem. And it's not a problem it's worth my time worrying about, you know? So today's plan, let's get that done, and then I want to catch up with my form boards, and if I get all that scribed in, then it's time to come around the corner here and tie this corner into the bedrock, and I can start forming up and over the top of it. It's going to be a great day. An absolutely great day. Well, here we are at the end of another long day, but I think it was productive. The drainage pipes are all bedded in. Now we'll drain there, and then this one will Y and drain both sides up there. They're bedded in sand through the forms. All the forms are done to this corner. All the little holes patched. There's still a couple of braces I need to put up, but that can be done later. That's our pillar. So that goes straight down to bedrock right there. I don't know whether I should. I'll get the probe out, and if we got spots that are like, you know, a foot or two to bedrock, I'll pillar again. Maybe 2 across the front there. It's gonna be 4 feet of steel and reinforced concrete coming up off of that, so I think it's gonna be just fine. The day didn't really start well. When I went to bed in the pipes, it
turned out I hadn't bought cement, I had bought purple primer. So out here, someplace, should be a nearly full can of purple primer and a nearly full can of cement. They were used to put in the sewer lines. I haven't done any PVC since then, so they've got to be here. But I spent, well, I don't want to talk about how much time I spent. I tore that whole place apart. Couldn't find them. And I knew the last time I was in the hardware store, I picked up another can of cement just in case mine had gone bad. And that's when I found out that no, I hadn't. I'd picked up another can of purple primer, which is awesome because it's more expensive than the cement. So I had to drive all the way in and all the way back out for one can. I'm glad I was here alone today because I had to give, say, sort of a sailor's education, but we didn't, and we're fine now. But therein, I went with 4-inch schedule 35. I mean, it's drain tile. That's gonna be fine, and it will be draining the entire roof. So I don't know. Maybe I should have gone 6-inch underground, but boy, 4-inch sure seems big. And even if it does back up a little bit, I think that it will it'll very, very quickly catch up, and I believe it'll be just fine. So now we've got our massively oversized sump completely filled with gravel. It's tamped, which was fun, tamping that gravel. Although none of it matters because it's also got a column in there so that even if it does settle, screw it, it won't matter. It's going to sit on rock in my column, and then it's going to transition over onto that dirt. So, go overbuild or go home, right? Especially when you don't know what you're doing. You just make sure it's stupid strong, and then you don't have to worry about it. I wish I'd gotten a lot more done. I think that screwing around with that pipe and the glue and everything, especially since I had to jackhammer some stuff because I'd set the pipe at the wrong angles. That's my bad. I think that probably cost me an extra 2 hours out of today, and you know, it was a 10-hour day. The phones are down, so I haven't had a call from Danny all day, and I haven't been able to call Danny all day. So with luck, I don't go home to, let's just say, mom and son sometimes don't have it quite as eye to eye as dad and son do. Quarantine beard's coming along. I'll see you guys later. Another day down. I kind of forgot to film anything this morning. So the forms are all the way around, and all the sheeting is done. Actually, I can see one gap up there I need to plug up. Except for that spot, all the sheeting is done. I even started laying in some rocks for rebar, although we're a ways away from that. I'd like to say I'm more than halfway, but I know I'm not. It takes so long to go over the rocks. I'm gonna drop the size, at least of this run right here. I'm gonna drop it to 16 inches. It's just, it's silly for it to be 20. So I'll drop it to 16 inches. But we've already cut the rock down there. I don't know, I'll do something. But yeah, gotta do a little more blasting, unfortunately. Just a little more blasting. I'm hoping to get away with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, maybe 10 holes all told, and then removing everything will be a pain in the butt because I can't get the equipment in anymore. But I'll bring the excavator in up top, and then I can just set the bucket and I'll just hand load it. But it's a little high over there. I sure wish it was going faster, but it is at least going.